Okay. Okay. Now the only thing with this is there isn't really a timer anywhere, so I don't know. Huh. Yeah, I didn't think about that, but this doesn't really tell you how long it's been going for. Oh wait, yes, or no, it does. Oh yes, there it is. Okay, sorry. I'm using OBS, so this is a new way of doing this for me. So I don't know if it's going to work. I did a brief test of this yesterday, and it seemed to work because somebody actually popped onto the stream. So I think it's going to work. I mean, this is the nice part is, or what I'm lucky in terms of, is that essentially, as far as I can tell, the way that all this it uses the same basic overlays and everything as the Twitch streaming software, the Twitch beta. But honestly, I've had so many problems, and this is also sort of a way to rule out that there isn't something else going on. Because if the same things, because I don't know if you weren't on the last stream and it hasn't posted on YouTube yet, but just a little bit of background while I let this sit. And I'm watching the CPU counter, which is around 10%, which is fine. But on the last stream, last stream, it crashed the computer again. Just for no real reason at about, I don't know, I want to say around 45 minutes or so. But I don't think the time matters. I don't think so, because I think the last time that it crashed the system, oh, and as a warning, and I'll repeat this if anybody should. This is the only other thing is there's no way for me to tell, I don't think, if somebody's actually watching this or not. So if you are, I don't know you're there. I don't think. Hold on, let me see. Does this tell me? This says users in chat. But again, I don't know if that's reliable. So it doesn't have the, as far as I can tell, it doesn't have the thing like the Twitch stream software does where it says people viewing. Although I don't even know if that's trustable, or trustworthy, I should say. So who cares? In any event, my wife may be calling me. If she does, then I'll basically mute myself, which I should make sure that that's working. Is the background okay? I see my meters. That's good. Where is the background music? Did it not start? I don't know if I have to start that. Artstream, Walkman, that's working. Artstream background music, maybe I have to hit this? Or is it playing? If it's playing, I can't hear it. Oh, no, it does show. Okay, it says background music. I just don't hear it. That might just, is the volume too low? Let me push it up. Artstream background music. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, I don't know how loud it is. Oh, because it has a ramp up. Okay, I'm just watching the meter. Sorry, I'm getting used to this because I haven't done this before. So apparently I pushed it down too far. I'm gonna leave it at about 35. So if anybody shows up, well, I mean, I can test this. I could open it on my phone. No, I guess I'll open it on my phone. So this intro bit might be longer than usual, just as a warning. Not that anybody's here, I don't think. Let me just see if I can hear it on the actual stream. Not that it matters that much, I don't think, but just in case, I will just open it up on my phone and listen. So you may hear double audio for a minute. I can hear it. Yeah, okay. I think that's okay. I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm closing I don't need 2 streams of audio again. All right. So yeah, I'm trying this using OBS to see if it's a better experience. And we'll see. I do have to change that because there's that red strip across the top. The only thing that OBS doesn't really do well, at least not in my initial setup of it, is I don't know if you could, there's a red band. If you look at the top behind the text, there's a red band there. And that is because the mirroring software, it is mirroring, it's what it does. But it's for some reason in OBS, it's not cutting that top strip off. Whereas in Twitch, it knew to do that. So it's not a big deal. That red strip doesn't bother me. I know I can just basically obscure it if I have to. But I don't know if that's just a setting or what it might be. Because again, OBS is open source. It's not Twitch native. So it does work a little bit differently. But in any event, it doesn't matter. Okay. We can still try some stuff out. So yeah, fair warning, if my wife calls, I may have to... I'll just mute myself, really. And actually, I should make sure mute works. Testing, testing. Okay, there's the thing. Where's the mute button? Is there a mute button? Ah, there is. There's a... Or that's not a mute, so I guess I would just hit this, maybe? Okay. I do need to... I gotta make sure that works. I think that's gonna work. Actually, it's good that it's not playing the music through the computer, because that would just be distracting anyway. So give me a second. I have to test one other thing. This is exactly why I wanted to do this. So let me open the live. So you'll hear a double audio for a minute, but I'm just going to test to make sure the mute works if I need to use it. So I'm going to open it. You'll hear me for a minute, maybe in the background. Okay. I'm now going to hit mute and say, when I hit mute, I will say testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hitting mute. And that seems to have worked. I've unmuted now. So I'll wait for it to come back on the audio. Just listening. Good. Okay. Yep. Everything seems to work. That's good. I really hope it does. I would love to use... Right now, this thing is hovering at around 10% utilization, which is way better than Twitch. Because I have a feeling the Twitch problem, not besides that it's in beta, but I think it's also loading a lot of things that are unnecessary. That's my hunch. So, anyway, let's get on with it. Let me see. Okay, now I got to try this because I haven't done this. Where is the... oh, I should have had this on first. Oh, except that's not... Hold on. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay, it's all the way at the top. So now you should be seeing the be right back thing. I'm going to move getting started underneath that. I forgot because OBS layers things. So now if I... Let's see. Here's the trick. How do I get it to go from one to the other smoothly? So I probably have to do this. Oh, there it is. Oh, but it already started playing. So I'm going to have to turn the autoplay off on that. That's okay. That's okay. I'm not... These are small things. Oh, good. It faded out automatically. Perfect. Okay. That's good. Not bad. Not bad. So I just have to figure out... I think I just have to tell this not to autoplay. That's fine. I am not concerned about that at this particular moment. Okay, so here we are. We're going to get going now. As I already did the transition, who cares? It's already 7-8 minutes in. Okay, so this is the Glaive that I've been working on for a while. I don't know if I did much of this on the stream. I think I did early on, but I haven't done much since. So I'm now adding colors. So I have a layer down here that I'm using for my coloring. So basically I gotta mark out the blacks. So there's black. Let's do a black layer. Where's my color layers? I know I did color somewhere. I gotta find it. No, it's not there. Where did I put the colors? Did I put it all the way at the bottom? I did. Okay, good. I'm gonna call this, even though right now there's more colors, I'm gonna call this reds because I just put the color swatches there. And underneath this, I will put rename blacks. That is not the word blacks. There it is. Okay, so let's grab the pen really quick just to mark where black goes. So black goes essentially, oop, not there. Here, 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 there, there. Isn't there black around? Yes, there's black here. So if I just do this, that will tell me. I don't have to do it all. I just need to get an indicator of it so that I know later. Let's see. Universal indicator black. Okay. Nobody in the chat room. Well, nobody talking in the chat room. If you're in the chat room, I know the chat room worked yesterday, so I just have to presume it works today. And then black inside, and then black around, which is fine. So I just need to do this, and this, and this, and that. And, you know, this... Wait. Did I just do that wrong? Hold on. No, I didn't. I didn't. This is fine. This is enough to go on so that I at least have the... Okay, that's already... Oh, no, no, no. Right there. Yep, okay. And one right there. Okay, so we're good. So now green. I have the green here. There we go. Let's put the greens here. So we'll call this greens. Greenzo. All right, so we got green. Green is in this. And in these interior things here. Which I really don't need to mark every one of these. I'm hopefully smart enough that I would realize. And then reds. But it's not the worst. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything. Let's put it that way. It doesn't hurt a thing to just do this so that I have it straight. Because I'm doing a bunch of different colors. Okay, and then I have my reds. So red has its own layer right here. So that would be the circles. Circle. Circle. I'm not going to do the calligraphy stuff, the lettering. I'm not going to bother with that. I like the Glaive clean, so I'm going to leave it that way. Okay, and then reds on the triangles. So again, if I just do one, that will be enough. I don't need to go mark every single one. Okay, so, and then the center, I don't know what I'm going to do for the diamond. I got to figure that out. Why did I? Oh, I made that red. Why did I think that was red? I made these in-between parts red. They're not red. They're, where, I don't know. Where was my brain there? These should not be red. These should be black. Jeez. Well, I mean, technically they should be silver, according to this. Why did I make them black? Whatever. You know what? I was doing this earlier this morning. I was working on this, and I was doing a lot of little changes, so I probably just lost track of what I was doing. I think I just defaulted to red without really thinking about it. Those should actually be black. So those would go on the black layer, and we'll skim that to black. And so it's 3 silvers. So 1, 2, 3. So this is black. That's black. That's black. That's black. So once I do it in one place, it'll be fine. I'm going to hide that because I don't need this right now. Let's do the black layers first. Okay. So we're on black? Yes. Yeah, so I'm planning to stream. Wait, yes, that's green. Probably for about, maybe another 40 minutes or so, something like that. I got a couple things to do in a bit, but I had a slice of time, and it's earlier than I usually get to do it, so I figured, you know what? Why not? Just pop on and work on I actually have a couple things. Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm in the middle of doing, as I typically am, 3 or 4 things. I don't know if I showed, why is that not, there we go. I was going to say, I don't want you to make a smear, I want you to move. Here, I'll show you a couple things since I'm here. Let's jump out. I'm working on a Shodan image. So that's Shodan from System Shock. This is actually on a card back currently. I actually use the bare lines of this as the start of a card back. So that card back is in progress. This one is pretty much done. I added the DF logo. I just have to put some text in the badge. And then this one is done. And let's see. This is the logo for Len Kabaczynski's martial arts studio. So that's done. I redid all the line work on that and provided that to him. And I think that's everything that's currently in progress, which is basically 4 things. And then this one, I realized this morning, I'm like, I never finished coloring this because I want to throw this on a shirt too. You know? So I want to get these colors in because I love the Glaive. I love this weapon. I like it with the blades. I have a bladed version. I'll do at some point too, where the blades are out. But I actually like it just like this. I think it's such a neat shape without even the blades engaged. I really just like the way it looks. The only bad part about this is because this isn't really a symmetrical weapon. I mean, it sort of is, but it really is not. It's more curved, so I can't do the... Normally when I'm doing coloring... Well, on some things, I shouldn't say normally, but on a lot of things, it's really nice to have the time saver of doing the assisted symmetry because it just lets me color things much faster. It's not a big deal that I don't have it. It's just one of those things where it's like, it sure would be nice if I had the... You know what I should do? I should fix that actual line work and not do it this way. Where is that line? Where are you? I know you're in here because you're one of the layers right there. Let's turn the assist off. See, I was able to do assisted on some of this stuff, but it's not most of it. Most of this is not a symmetrical design. It just isn't. There we go. Make sure I go back to the black layers and don't start coloring in on the line work, because I have certainly been known to do that. And I don't want to do that with this. So, but I love this weapon so much. And it's one of these things where you really don't get much of it in the movie. Not really. Not as much as I would love to see either. I don't know. I don't know that they should remake Krull. I think Krull is fine the way it is. It's not necessarily a great film. I wouldn't, most people would not argue it's a great movie, but it's very imaginative. I think of all the movies that were attempting to, and it certainly was, trying to rip off the Star Wars-ish thing, not in terms of spaceships and everything, but in terms of making kind of sci-fi opera and grand operatic stuff, which Krull certainly is. I think it works really well. Could it have been better? Of course it could have been better. But there's so much stuff in that movie that's so memorable compared to other movies that are better regarded. The Fire Mares, the Cyclops, the Widow of the Web, the Glaive itself, the Beast and the way that the Beast is used, the disappearing, reappearing castle. Like, these are all great elements. So I don't necessarily want a remake, but at the same time, it would not bother me all that much if they kept the essentials of it and just improved it. Because there are stretches that are somewhat dull in it. I can't deny that. But I think that there's, and there's, like, you could ditch the shapeshifter character, or at least that shapeshifter character needs to be improved, or magician, whatever the technical definition of what he is. But the mystic, or whatever we would call him. But things like, would the Widow of the Web sequence really benefit from modern CG? Yeah, you could probably make the spider look more realistic. Sure, that's a legitimate argument. I can see that. But would the sequence really be improved in any way? No, I think it's a very tense and well done scene. I think it's a beautiful scene. Probably the most standout thing of the entire movie. The Beast fight could be done better. I sort of understand what they were going for in that. I do. But I can't deny that the Beast fight is... You know what? These are sketches. I'm going to put all these sketches into a group. Because I think... Hold on. I want to just get all the pencil work together. Sorry. I really should have done this before now, obviously. Like so many things, I should have done this before now. Okay, there we go. Because this is pencil work. So, and in fact, let me just name that. The Beast fight is... It's interesting. I like it, but I've seen criticisms of it, and I don't disagree with them, where people say, yeah, but it's really not that engaging of a fight. It could have been done better. Yeah, it could have been done better. I'm not gonna. I can't really argue that point. I can't. I think it works fine. I think it could have been better. So that's something where a remake could probably improve that. The Cyclops, you can tell it's a guy in a helmet who clearly can't see. You can tell. I mean, it doesn't look photorealistic. His single eye blinking looks mechanical because that's what it is. It looks like somebody who's wearing a prosthetic that has a fixed eye in it. Yes, absolutely. No, I'm not. Again, no argument. There are things that would be improved, but I also think a lot of that movie holds up very well. It gets a bad rap. It really does. And unfairly, I think. Because I actually, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I'm just making sure I do this correctly. There we go. And then that leaves 1, 2, 3. Yes. X. I didn't put these in here. I should have. So, it's a movie that I think it's an interesting movie to consider what a remake would do. Because I do think that there are things... I'm going to use the paintbrush here, because I think I can do it without really screwing anything up. Let me make it a little smaller, just to make sure. Well, guess what? That certainly reinforces that it's the software. Huh. So, the mirroring software just crashed. Huh. Okay. So, I got to look for different software. Wait a minute. That's interesting. Well, I will give OBS this, though. It recovers better. Because now it came back. That's interesting. So, huh. Oh, okay. Well, that is a point in OBS's favor. Because even though the mirroring software did crash. So that tells me that the software has something going on. Wait a minute. Hold on. I think I screwed something up here. Oh, I sure did. Okay. Glad I caught that. So the black layer should not... Whoa, wrong eraser. Sorry. Should not come into here. Okay. And it probably shouldn't go down there either. I was too aggressive with my black lines. Good. I'm glad I caught it. This is why you do things in different layers, by the way. This is exactly why you do things in multiple layers. Just to avoid this exact scenario being a real problem. Okay, so... anyway, on to the mirroring software. So clearly the mirroring software has some kind of issue. Now, I'm only still at about 9.5% on CPU. So I don't believe it's a CPU problem. I think the software is glitchy. Now, like I said, on the plus side, which is really good to know, OBS recovered where I didn't have to go in and re-edit the layer. It retained the mirroring correctly. So that's good. That is a plus in terms of OBS right there, that it did that. And the fact that now, we'll see if my computer crashes, then I got to look at why that's happening. Then it's something else. But my suspicion is, I really hope it doesn't, because then that would confirm that the Twitch software is lesser. I won't say bad, but it is still in beta. You have to allow these things. But the experience has definitely degraded. So I'm not going to give it a free pass necessarily. There is still something going on with that software. But at least I know I can use OBS. And OBS is fine. I use it for other things. So I'm familiar enough with the software that at least it wasn't a completely... When I first played with OBS for using it as a virtual camera, because I just find it so much better than... I like, because so many things where the few times I do video on shows that I appear on, never on my own, never. I just have no desire to. I don't need people staring at me talking. I just don't need it. But there are shows where people want video, and that's fine. So for those, OBS is good because I can put elements into it. I'm just gonna use this. I'm just gonna use this pen. Maybe I'll thicken this pen up a bit. Let's go to like 10. That's better. So but when I first started using OBS, the first time I loaded it years ago, I thought, oh no, this is way too junky looking. And that's because I was looking at the interface of it as opposed to what it could do, which was, I figured out pretty quickly that was my error, was judging the software on its appearance. As with so many things in life, judging it by its appearance is a bad idea. And, that's exactly what I had done. And, I thought I had put X's on... Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. I've got it. Oh, I did it on... I just didn't do it in one. Okay, that's fine. I was just checking something. I wanted to make sure that I didn't have a layer that I'd accidentally hidden or turned off or something. I don't know if I'm going to handle the diamond in the center. I'll figure that out. I can figure that out later. So, yeah, when I first loaded OBS, I thought, oh, I'll never use this. And then once I watched some videos on it and I understood, okay... And there's some in what's funny is it occurred to me after I'd started using it for a while that interface being as bare bones and simple looking as it is good. Because honestly, nobody should care about the embellishment of OBS. They should care about the functionality and what it delivers. That's what matters. It doesn't matter if it's got pretty buttons or not. The bad thing about how polished a lot of applications are now is that we become accustomed to that polish being an indicator of quality, which it absolutely is not. Just because an app has, pretty buttons and looks nice and has good colors and a nice sharp icon doesn't mean it's any good. It really doesn't. I mean, it is no, in any way, indicator of the quality of the actual application, but we've become... I think a lot of people, maybe not everybody, people who deal more in open source software, Linux type stuff, they probably don't, because a lot of that stuff does prioritize function over form. So certainly, I'm not saying everybody does this, but if you use Windows and certainly Mac for a while, you sort of become, what's the word for it? You become acclimated. Ooh, big word. You become used to use the, $2 version of a $5 word. You become used to the idea of apps looking in a certain way and having a certain presentation layer to them, where if you don't see it, you then think, uh-oh, this must be a junky or a spammy or a low-quality app. And of course, that's not true. Again, like so many things in life, judging by appearance is a really stupid idea. So, but I like I said, I'm not some kind of enlightened super being. I did the same thing. As when I first looked at OBS, I went, oh, yeah, this must be used by people who have nothing else that they want to use or don't want to pay for it. And that's really not true. It's actually a really wonderful piece of software. It is. It's well done. I mean, like I said, this thing is hovering around 10%, whereas Twitch routinely, when I was doing almost nothing, was in the 40%. And, you know, on top of the fact that it was crashing my hardware and that it would frequently have problems and all the rest of it, and it didn't recover from the mirroring software not having a good time very well. You know, it would utterly not wreck. I would have to redo the scene, you know, in the middle of the stream. Whereas this, I just had to basically reconnect it, remirror it, and it came back. So it knew enough to retain that connection. So that's good. But that does lead me to go, okay, I got to look for something else. If there is anything else, I don't know how much software there is like this, you know, because a lot of software simply replicates the entirety. It doesn't mirror it very well, you know, or it mirrors it in a way that's not good for this. You know, I mean, this has only crashed once, and if I, pardon me, sorry, I didn't mean to cough in the mic. I apologize. Hold on, I'm gonna cough again, so I'm gonna mute myself. Test it. Woo! Oh, where's my water? Oh, I forgot to bring it. No, it's all right. It's fine. I'll be fine without it because I'm not going to be streaming for a tremendous amount more time. But does it tell you there? Oh, I forgot this has, and OBS does local recording. Not that I really need that. Twitch, I just pulled the video off there. It's perfectly fine. So I don't know that I need local recording, but that's nice to know it's there in case I needed it. Or, you know, for some reason Twitch was having a problem or something like that. But where was I? Oh, if I can at least cut out the crashing and the high CPU utilization of Twitch, and I just have to deal with this app once in a while losing its mirroring capability, honestly, I would be okay with that. I would ideally like to have it never crash, since I don't think I'm doing anything that taxing. But then again, you know, I don't know what's going on. Or if I can find a better piece of software, then I certainly will try it. But if I just have to put up with the one thing, which is keeping an eye on the mirroring software to make sure it doesn't crash, that's okay. Again, I'd sure love it if it never crashed, but I can live with it if that's all I got to worry about. If that's it, if that's the worst I got to deal with is just relaunching mirroring software, then OBS will. And I do like the fact that it doesn't appear to be burning up the CPU, which it shouldn't. I mean, it's doing it 60 frames. So this is essentially doing exactly what... You've got mail, man. Sorry. Exactly what the Twitch stream is doing, or the Stritch software. Yes, indeed. The Elaine Stritch software. The Twitch streaming software is doing, but it's doing it at a quarter, literally, of the CPU cost. And I'm going to basically use OBS, you know, for probably the next... I'll say 10 streams at least, and see if it crashes at all during that time. Now, of course, I did not uninstall the Twitch software. If suddenly OBS becomes unstable or suddenly doesn't work or whatever, I can always go back to it. I'm not stuck with this. I did not erase or uninstall. I know people who will do that. They get so angry at software that they just flat uninstall it, and I'm not going to do that because Twitch may not work, the Twitch software, I should say. The Twitch stream software may not be bulletproof by any stretch of the imagination, but I do know it will work. I can use it if I need to. Oh, I did want to try. I just got to check one thing. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong window. Never mind. I thought I was thinking about something else. I was like, oh, I wanted to try something. That's not an OBS thing. Just randomly something else popped in my head. Ow. I have a really sharp... My nails is really sharp. I have to sand it down because it's the way I'm using coloring. That nail is digging into my other finger. Okay. So, but so far, like I said, just the fact that this thing has not broken 10% on CPU streaming for how long now? About 30 minutes? at what I could, as far as I could tell, was the same exact, or, you know, at least close enough quality that it doesn't matter. You know, I'm not doing 4K or anything. That's great. That right there is great that it's not, because I think I had told you, I mean, Twitch, even now, the last couple times I've used it, will occasionally just spike to 100%. And I don't know why. There doesn't seem to be, it's not like I'm doing something that feels like it would stretch the processing that way. I'm literally just doing this the whole time. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of motion involved, sure, but I don't think that should be enough to spike it like that. So far, this is good. All right, the blacks are done. That's great. Or wait, are they done? All the black areas are done? Yes, black areas are done. Excellent. Let's move on to greens. Select our green color here. And let's go ahead and fill. Oh, you know what? Black should be on top of all the colors. There we go. I forgot. That's usually how I order it. Usually white is underneath, black is on top. And I completely forgot about that, so I didn't do that, but that's okay. And then, yeah. Now, technically, I could probably do this, replicate this layer, and color all the other ones, but honestly, it seems like a lot of effort for what I could just do. Let me make the paintbrush a little bit bigger. There we go. Because this is going to go pretty, these are going to go pretty quick. Black is and yellow are the major colors. And I'll probably order yellow down the furthest so that I can just put it above, I'll put it under everything else because it'll be basically an underlying color. So for this, oops, get out of there. For these, I'll use this brush because there's some tight corners in it. Yep, there we go. And I might adjust these colors. You know, I got to look at a couple of pictures. I pulled the first what looked like really good image of the Glaive that showed colors. That doesn't necessarily mean those colors are accurate. Of course, accuracy with the Glaive, you know, it's one of these things where I know I saw that Adam Savage had it on what do you call it, on his tested channel, the actual one of the hero props that or maybe it wasn't a hero. No, it wasn't a hero prop. Or maybe it was. No, it was because it had the blades that came out, so it would be considered a hero prop. So I got to look at the colors on that and see if there's anything that looks really, because I don't remember in the film whether the glyphs that are like on that sample image I showed on the screen, I don't know if those are actually there. I guess they would have to be. I don't think people would make it up. But man, I think it's because, you know, you see it only so many times, so they probably really couldn't read them, but somebody obviously had to have done the research or saw a picture of the prop. There are people who make I've been tempted more than a few times to buy a really good prop of the Glaive and put it up on my wall, and I probably will at some point. I really just love it. I think it's such an unconventional weapon compared to so much of what we see. You know, lots of action movies, swords, guns, you know, but something like this, a starfish type bladed weapon, it's so interesting. I just adore this thing because I find it to be such a unique weapon, and the fact that it was, you know, mentally controlled. Really, I can't even tell you how much it bums me out when he gets to the end of that movie and he can't get it back. I mean, it's such a, it shouldn't be as emotionally affecting of a moment as it is, but it is. It really is, like, and the music even plays at it, that it's like a sad moment, like he's lost a friend, you know? And so maybe that would be it. Maybe that's how you do a Krull sequel, is that, you know, maybe it's not the Beast. The Beast is one of many creatures, which we have no reason to think he isn't, or it isn't. I don't know what it's supposed to be. The Beast is never really defined. So in terms of, I'll just call it. We don't know what the Beast, we don't know that the Beast is not one of, I mean, it certainly would make sense that the Beast would be one of a species of alien of some kind, that certainly if there's one, there may be others. And if there are, then another one could appear and start terrorizing a planet, and somebody has to go and seek out the weapon that defeated the Beast. And they go and they find it in the body of the Beast, and they recover it, and there's the Glaive. Now, the issue there, of course, is that the Glaive will likely be CG, but, you know, if it's done well, I'll deal with it. It's funny. I've been watching the latest season of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and the ship is completely CG. The Enterprise is a completely CG ship. It looks fine. Don't get me wrong, looks fine. But I really do... you can absolutely sense that difference in the ships. It's not... oh, wait, am I on the red layer? Yes, okay. It is not even debatable that you can feel the fact that it is a CG ship and not a practical ship. It's fine. I'm not going to... I won't watch it because it's not practical. I'm not one of those people. But I can't pretend that I can't feel that difference. That or maybe feel is the wrong word, but I can't sense that difference in the ships, that you can just tell that it's not an actual physical thing occupying space. Doesn't matter. Really doesn't. I'm only mentioning it as an aside to say that it will be, it's going to be very clear that the Glaive is going to be CG if they ever were to do a reboot. And you would be able to tell it's CG. Which is too bad. I would love them to do practical effects on that, at least partially. I mean, obviously, if they were to do it, I'm sure that the main character would hold a physical Glaive. I don't think they would CG it in his hands. I really would hope not. But every time it got thrown, it would be dancing all over the place. And maybe that's good. I having seen so little of it in the movie, maybe to actually see the Glaive be fully utilized would be nice. So in that case, the CG would be of a benefit, that you would actually see him using whoever the main character, he or she. Doesn't have to be he. Because it's not going to be Colwyn again. They'll have somebody else. But whoever wields it, it would be great to actually see them do versatile things with it. Actually do interesting and weird things with it. So, okay, so I need a yellow layer. So this, or I'll call it the gold. Golds. Because it's not really yellow, it's whatever that is, which is, I think, supposed to be a type of gold color. So let's grab this. And let's go to our gold layer. And get the paint out. Yeah, so I'm going to need a... it is kind of white, isn't it? Now it's silver, I guess. So let me grab... let's grab a light version like that. And let's do that on top. So we'll call that... I don't know. It's not. I think it's more of a. It's almost like a very weird silver green, but we'll call it silvers. So we'll do the silver layers, which is basically everything under here. Very easy, and I can adjust this, of course, as needed. So this is an easy one, and then I can just paint the gold underneath. But yeah, there's such an easy way to make a Krull sequel. I just don't think there's any interest in it. I think the movie is regarded as a not good film, which I disagree with. I don't think it's a bad movie. And again, this is one of those cases where instead of remaking movies that were successful and good, I understand there's IP recognition, and that's why they do it, is because, people recognize this name and they know there was a good version of it, so we're going to try to capitalize on that. But so often it just becomes a lesser version, or what seems like a junky imitation of what there was. I mean, let's be honest, right? Does anybody who's watching this, before I say this, I want you to think about, well, I guess I can't unless I say it, you won't know what I'm talking about. How many people remember that they made a Ghostbusters sequel recently? How many people remember that? Compared to the people who know there was a Ghostbusters film. Now, saying that, I know that that's me speaking as somebody who grew up with that movie, and somebody who's younger probably doesn't have that same attachment, so I completely acknowledge that. But I mean, in terms of, but even there, see, and that's where I'm like, well, okay, if that's the audience you're making it for, if you're making it for an audience that never knew about the thing, then that rationale really doesn't apply. Because if I don't know about a movie, and somebody makes a sequel to it, there's no nostalgia factor to it. So that's purely to try to draw in the audience that already is familiar with the classic property. And that's exactly the audience that's going to be the most resistant to whatever you're trying to do. So why do that? Why not? If you think that the concept is so worth revisiting, then, you can make a sequel to it, but don't make it so reliant on that former property. And now, that is not to say that I think that what they did with the other Ghostbusters reboot, the one that was all female, which I don't care that they were women. Everybody gets hung up on that point. I couldn't care less. I really don't care if they're all female Ghostbusters. The weird part about that movie is that instead of making it a sequel, and you know, they just tried to reboot it, but then they had the original actors in the movie in different roles, which is bizarre, because if your point is, well, we just want to make a new version of this thing, a reboot, then just make a reboot and don't do that. Like, that just seems stupid to me, to have them in there in different roles. I don't get it. You know, and I just didn't get it. I just didn't get that point of it. Like I said, it was not the female thing. I don't care. I'm not one of these people who cares about changing genders and races and all. It doesn't matter. I don't care. You know, the only time I think that's a bad thing to do is when they get rid of the original version. I think that you shouldn't do that. It should not be that you get rid of or erase, or whatever term you want to use. I think getting rid of the original version, yeah, you shouldn't do that. Because not everybody's going to like the new thing, and they should be able to enjoy the old thing. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to make the new thing. Oh, I just erased the color I need. Wait, is it still in my color wheel? No. I'll just sample it from the thing again. It doesn't matter. So that was the part that was weird about that, was that they both wanted to make it a break from what there was before, as in making it a reboot, and then simultaneously they put the other characters in there. Because again, that's just going to point out to people that there was a previous version, and anybody who liked it is I would guess, and I think that the reception of it, aside from the sexism stuff, and I do wonder how much of that was made as a shield to the fact that I just don't think most people regard it as a very good movie. I mean, I didn't read after it had been out for a while. It's not as if that movie has grown in its reception. You know, I don't know a lot of people who look at that movie and think it was a good movie. On its own terms, forgetting any of the sexism and racism stuff. Yeah, no, that doesn't count for anything. It's garbage. Anybody who judges that movie and says, I don't think the Ghostbusters can be women for some reason, whatever. You know, you can take that logic and you can go walk into the ocean with it. It's stupid. It doesn't, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything of any of this. Whenever I hear any of this and people get all upset about the fact, oh no, that, you know, it's women, or they're putting minorities and stuff. So what? So what? Who cares? All that should matter, let's be honest, all that should matter is it an enjoyable story? If it is, anything else is secondary. It really is a secondary thing, because ultimately that doesn't make any difference. The writing doesn't care, except in very specific. Obviously, you wouldn't make a movie about, say, slavery or women's liberation and put, in the first case, a white person as the lead or a male in the lead. Yes, there are movies where it does matter, but that's not what people tend to get upset about. They seem to get upset when, for example, The Little Mermaid is no longer a... I mean, I don't even know... Here's something. I don't even know if the voice actor who did Ariel's voice in the animated one was white. I don't know that. Yes, the character is depicted as being white, I guess. I mean, she's a mermaid, so I don't know. Do those count as... I don't know how that works in the mermaid community, so I'm not sure. I don't know if she's supposed to be Atlantean or what. It doesn't matter. But am I going to get all bent out of shape because now it's a... I don't know. I think the actress is black, but I honestly don't know. I have no idea what her actual racial or ethnic makeup is. I really don't know, because it doesn't matter. I think it's a bad idea to make a live-action Disney film out of an animated thing, but there's the other thing. Let's be honest, shall we? Have any of these live-action Disney things been anywhere near as good as the animated ones? And I use that term loosely because I don't like Disney stuff, but I mean, I recognize the quality of the animation and the storytelling. It's obviously resonated for people for a reason, right? But have any of these been any good? I don't think I've read about any of them where anybody said this was a superior offering. So all this is, let's be honest about it, is Disney capitalizing on rerunning. Really, this is what we're talking about. Cinematic reruns. That's what it is. So they're inferior products to begin with in almost every case. So if it really upsets you that much, and this is my message to people, it really is, if you're so upset about the fact that the Little Mermaid is no longer a little white girl, you know what's great? You can go and watch the original animated ones, and that version is the one that you want. And guess what? It's going to be the better version anyway, because it came first. And it was the one that basically set the stage for the remake. So, I don't know. I just can't be bothered about this stuff. I feel like people just want to get angry about things. They want to get all worked up. They want to think there's secret agendas and conspiracies in place to I don't know what. I don't know what would actually be accomplished through the use of a Little Mermaid film. I don't know what agenda that serves. And even if it does serve one, who cares? But if you really hate it that much, go watch the original. That's the nice part. You can go and buy or rent or whatever the original one. And you could say, oh, there's the Little Mermaid I remember. There she is. And you're fine. You're good. You don't have to get all upset. So I just don't worry about these things. I'm sorry, I can't be bothered. Well, there is our glaive. I may do something to show that there's that inner bevel. What I'm talking about is, yeah, I'll just show you. Like this, I may do a secondary line. Well, okay, that's terrible pen to illustrate that with. I may do like an inner curve that then has a darker area. I got to think about that. I'm not gonna do it right now because I want to think about whether that's what I want to do. Because in general, I like this, and I got to do something with the diamond. But I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly what my solution to the diamond thing is going to be. But no matter what, I mean, I like where it is. So that part is great. I'm very happy that it is. I'm finally getting this thing done because this thing has literally been sitting there for a while, and I've just been meaning to color it, and I wanted to color it because I like the glaive, and I want to actually have the glaive. I want to put this on a shirt in some form, which will probably be like something along the lines of, I don't know, because there's lots of shirts where people exercise and they call it beast mode. I'd be like, well, this is my beast mode, and it's to have the glaive or something like that. I don't know. That might not be as clever as it seems to be in my head. So, all right, let's see if this works. So if I turn this back on, there we go. Came back. Excellent. So, oh, yeah, I'm taking this off of, how do I, oh, God. Yeah, you know what? I am removing Twitter, and I'm calling it Twitter from my iPad because they upgraded it with that stupid X icon, and I'm not calling it 10. And honestly, I barely care about Twitter anymore, so that's perfectly fine. Thank you very much, Elon Musk, for getting me to care less and less about Twitter over time to the point where I've just uninstalled it. So thank you very much, but I don't need your stupidly renamed app to a dumb name that you don't even probably won't own in a month because so many other companies have it already. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. But I'm not going to start on that. Well, good. Okay, so this was successful. Okay, the CPU just went to 20%, probably because I have this animated image up. But that's okay. That makes sense. There's a reason for it. I understand it. It's animating something. Oh, and that's my wife calling. So I'm going to end the stream. Thank you very much for coming by. Go out there, be creative. I'll see you on the next stream. Bye, everybody.